Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for the last day of July.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
The Department of Conservation are coming for us.
They are. Well, us and Radio Hauraki.
And that's because of, is it dead naming it to call it the Bhuja Hawk?
Well, yeah, look, about 10 years ago, a member of staff here purchased a stuffed hawk or falcon with its arms ablaze, like it's just about to attack and pick up a baby rabbit from the desert road, or about to drag off a dead possum that had been squashed on state highway. And you know what we're talking about, those birds.
That's right beside you.
Yeah. And it's been our mascot for quite some time with the Bhuja Hawk, and then I think it was something other hawk, and it's been around with us and around the studios for a long time. Someone has taken offence that we have a native stuffed bird in our possession. And apparently you need a license to possess a native stuffed animal.
Which is interesting because when we purchased it from a second-hand shop,
yes,
they didn't have a permit for it. And I dare say that people listening to this will have taxidermied animals that they've found at random second-hand shops that will not have permits for them either.
Correct. I've got a native, little native inanga stuffed, next to a big trout at my house.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I haven't got it now. It's lies. I got a license for it.
So they're coming for our baby.
Yeah.
They want to take our baby off us.
I don't know what they want to do with it. There's a couple of suggestions. You had a good one. Let's release it back into the wild. So we'll go to a big cliff top and just hiff it off.
Set it free.
Yeah.
That's the problem about releasing captive wild animals is that they're often not fit for that life anymore.
Nah. Especially this one.
And the problem is, it's been domesticated for so long. It's not going to be able to readjust to the wild. But the other problem is we still need it. We still need a hawk around. So, yeah, we could get rid of that one. We're just going to have to shoot another one to bring it in. Back into the studio.
Totally. Or if they threaten to take our Bhuja Hawk, which we can dead name it. It is what it is. That's where it came from. I'm going to go full Megamind. You know the dude who's got his 3 kids up in Maricopa? Me and Hawk are going there. I'm going to go bush. If they come for me, I'm going bush. I'm going to rob a bank on the way, steal a couple of 4x4s, and we're going to go bush. Me and Hawk. Just me and him.
And all of the locals will know exactly where you are, but they'll protect you.
Correct.
Because you're a member of the community.
Well, hopefully you guys will.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You just got little stash spots for me and Hawkie.
And when the Department of Conservation comes around, we'll be like, just leave him alone. Him and the hawk are happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Full hunt for the wilder people.
Yeah. He's a good father.
Yeah. He's looking after those kids. You don't understand the full situation.
He's a good carer of that hawk. We've been close for many, many years. So we'll keep you abreast of the developments there because it is an ongoing to and fro.
Yep.
There is talk that it may have to be given up, but over my dead body.
I can't imagine the Department of Conservation foresaw this level of defensiveness from the wider ACC/Hauraki.
Is there not better things to do? Go kill some ferrets and shit.
That's right. Well, that's all that's going to happen if we release this thing is a ferret's going to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kill some ferrets and stoats and stop them eating our fat, lazy native birds. This one's been dead for a while.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
To be fair, I do reckon someone shot it. So I think that's probably their issue.
You reckon? No, because a few of them I've seen a couple roadside. They've just mistimed their takeoff with a possum.
Yeah, I know, but you can't stuff those. They're in pieces.
Nah, you can. Because all this is just like a fiberglass. It's just they just skinned it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I don't know. Anyway,
where's the bullet hole?
Well, you could patch over a bullet hole. Be tough to patch over one that had been run over. Anyway, we're going to fight for it.
Yeah, we'll fight for it. We'll keep you updated on the saga of the hawk and what happens. But like I said, over my dead cold body.
Hashtag hands off our hawk.
Yeah.
You've been in the headlines as well this week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice. A vasectomy. There was a vasectomy chat going on.
Front page of the Herald this morning.
Front page? When
I logged in. I think it was serving things that it thought would apply to me.
Okay.
And it's a photo of you in a Steady the Ship hat, which I know to be you getting a vasectomy while commentating a game of cricket at the same time.
But it looks like something else.
Doesn't look like that at all.
It looks like someone I may be receiving oral pleasure.
That's not what I got from it.
No?
Is that what you look like?
Yeah.
Okay. That is not what I got from that picture at all. But I don't know. So what was the story? I didn't click on the headline.
Oh, no, it's because obviously years ago, quite a few years ago, maybe 8 years ago, 7? No, how old's my son? Yeah, 7. 7 to 8 years ago, I got a vasectomy and did a live commentary at the same time. It was New Zealand, Australia, Eden Park. So as my vas deferens were being pulled out and cauterised, I commentated that game for our world first. It just so happened that the schedules aligned. I booked it in, and then Wells goes, that's the same day as the Aussie game. How about you commentate while getting a vasectomy?
Yeah.
Key difference was I couldn't get the full Rohypnol like most guys get, the date rape kind of don't really remember what's going on, a bit lucid.
Oh, right.
Because so I just had to
commentate.
Yeah. So the guy's like, I won't give you that because I don't know what you're going to say. I'll give you a little bit of local. So
once he heard what you did say, did he say, well, I might as well have given you the drugs?
No, he was quite good. He was cracking the jokes, actually. Gerald Young, City Med, highly recommend, soft hands. He was started making the jokes like, yep, the left stump removed. And he goes, I'll just pass the middle stump and head to the off stump. And and I was like, easy on. And poor Joe Juru had to film the whole thing, so he's never recovered. Anyway, long story. I think there was a reporter. I think it was Greg Bruce. Want to do an article on vasectomies because I think he's getting one, and there's some research around men generally not keen on it.
Yeah.
Because there's some sort of psychological block around.
It's scary.
Well, and people think that you're getting castrated. There's something happening to your manhood in terms of your manhood's being taken away.
Right.
All it is one pipe has been removed, and that's the pipe that gets you in trouble, i.e. pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's it. You're still blowing. You're still blowing.
But please stop. I just...
Well, people think the tap goes off completely. It doesn't.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't think that. I just don't want some bloke coming towards me with a sword.
Nah, it's not like that either. It's not even they're not even stitches.
Do they put here's how I imagine it. They pick you up and they put you on a fence post with your legs splayed.
Yes.
And then they put your coin purse on the fence post.
And then someone comes with a hammer.
They've got a heated iron thing. They pull it out and they...
Yep, that's exactly how they do it.
And then they let you off into the paddock and you eat tail wags and you run off into the distance with all your mates. Is that how it works?
Mainly in South Canterbury. But everywhere else it's fairly painless and fairly easy.
Here's one question, and I would kind of prefer the answer was only yes or no. I don't want too many details, but could you smell it?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Look at Joe Jury. Joe Jury's in the room.
Joe Jury can still smell it.
He can still smell it. Okay, that's one thing about a vasectomy, and it's well worth getting if you're done with having kids, like I definitely was, because now there's no worries in the world around that side of it.
Yeah.
But you will never ever forget the smell of burning flesh.
Yeah. When
they cauterise, because what they do is they go and hook in and they pull out the vas deferens, which is like a little tube, and they clip by the side, and then they cut it, and then they solder both ends, and then they let it go, and it goes back up into your testicles, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the smell is not good.
And just a wee local anaesthetic.
Yeah.
And then obviously the drugs that they forewent on your particular procedure.
Yeah, the drugs were okay. It was just a little bit local, but that was fine. It was fine. It was mildly uncomfortable. Yeah. But I'd highly recommend it. Anyway, it was an article to just kind of raise awareness and, try and break down some of the stereotypes and the stigmas surrounding you getting your balls operated on. Yeah.
That's the part that would terrify me. Yeah. Is just, I know how much it hurts to get hit in there by anything.
Yes.
What was the recovery like afterwards? Once the drugs wore off, did it feel like that?
For about a week, you feel a mild discomfort, like you've been kicked in, like about 10 minutes after being kicked in the balls.
Yeah, right.
That just dull ache.
You're aware of it.
You have that dull ache for about a week, and then it's gone.
Yeah, right.
But I'm glad that he included details on how many times I had to ejaculate before getting tested in the New Zealand Herald, and also included the part where I said, and my wife was only involved in 2 or 3 of those, because you've got to get rid of 20 before you get tested.
Yeah.
To see if it worked. And I remember telling my wife I was going in to get tested, and she goes, aren't you supposed to get rid of 20s? And I was like...
She's like, you've only done 2.
And I remember giving the greatest line going, doctor's orders.
Why is our hot water bill so high this month?
Why is the drain? Where's the Drano? I thought it was my hair blocking.
We'll go and check that story out on the Herald.
Or don't.
Or don't. You've probably heard too much already.
Yeah.
And in other news, you were asked or selected randomly to do jury duty, were you?
Yes, I was. Last week I was.
But you were crook last week.
Yeah, I was so crook last week. And then also, in the weeks beforehand, I said I can't do it. I don't really want to do it, to be honest. And I got excused.
Oh, great.
And looking back at it, I would have been smack bang into the old Polkinghorne eye doctor meth-related hanging. Was it a hanging? Was it a murder at the bottom of the stairs?
There's some pretty heavy trials going on at the moment. They could have been. I think because the lawyers get a chance to veto some of the jurors.
Yeah,
I reckon you would have got vetoed so quick.
What? Why?
I don't know. They were just looked up and they were like, hey, I was reading the Herald this morning. I saw a photo of you getting a vasectomy in the Herald while commentating a cricket game. Like, I don't know if this is the guy we need in our jury right now.
Also, got an issue with, not an issue, but a big hand job man.
Department of Conservation are after him.
That's true, actually.
They want to hawk, I don't know. Yeah.
A lot of red flags.
I've always wanted to do jury duty. I got called up to do it once. Down there in Timaru, I took the day off and went in to, serve my community. Yep. And I showed up and I was waiting around outside and the security guard was like, that didn't open the doors till 10, whatever. I was there for about 15 minutes. He goes, oh, what are you here for? And I was like, jury duty? And he had a look of surprise on his face. He's like, oh,
I thought you were here to face charges.
Yeah, that's right. He goes, oh, what was the trial? And then I gave him the number because they only give you like a number or something. And then he goes, no, that guy pled guilty last night. They're not going to do a trial now. And I was like, oh, fucking, where was the email? I took a whole day off work. So anyway, I went straight down the pokies. And it was a great day off. But I'd love to do jury duty.
Well, there's another issue as well, which I think is where you would come unstuck. And that is each day the judge reminds the jurors not to discuss this trial outside of this room.
Yeah.
That's going to be an issue for you.
Big time.
Big time. Like you end up on a podcast.
They'll be like, don't go onto a podcast or commentary or broadcast of any type.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, all right.
What do you think, mate?
Yeah. And then I'll come on and be like, right, so he's bloody run this person up, then he bloody stabbed this person, there's a shooting. It was wild.
He's on meth.
I was like, do you know, respectfully, Your Honour, do you know the numbers this will do on my podcast? If I can retell this story.
I'm going to get a lot of likes. Yeah. A lot of likes. Can I, on the Polkinghorne eye doctor meth thing,
but on.
Fuck getting your eyes operated with a guy who's on high as a kite on meth.
In his defence, I would rather that than he was drunk or stoned.
Okay.
Because the focus would have been hyper, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Look.
I don't know.
Hitler took over half the world on meth.
Yeah, it doesn't end well though, does it? And this hasn't either.
This is all alleged.
Yeah. So,
Bit on. But
it's a bit on. It's a bit on.
It reminded me of when Michael Clark's marriage fell apart or whatever was going on.
There was a lot going on.
There was that video that came out and he was like...
It was with Carl Stefanovic.
Yes, yeah. So he's with the bloody breakfast, good morning host. Then there's this chick and she's going, oh, so you're telling me you didn't cheat on me with bloody Stephanie from down the road on July the 31st in 2014 or something. She had all of the details. Meanwhile, there was a bit on. Like, I can only imagine. The meth would have probably calmed him down at that point.
I'm just waiting for all of the patients to come forward and going, hey, I got eye my eyes aren't fixed. Or, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for some repercussions around his medical career to come out as well.
Allegedly. We've got to remember he is still on trial. So this.
I know he pleaded guilty to the meth stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, reportedly.
Yeah.
He reportedly.
Is that reported or allegedly?
Well, did you read a report that told him?
Did you find out what the difference of allegedly and reported?
If you read it, it's reported.
What if you heard it?
Alleged.
What? Is that right? So
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not the fucking. This is what I was trying to say the other day. I don't know. All I'm doing is.
It sounded good though. You should have stuck to your work. Because I would have gone, oh, okay.
I'm trying to cover our ass because you've just said that how many other victims could there potentially be of this guy. I'm just saying alleged, reported, and Mike Lane said it, not me.
Medical misadventures. I'd
like to distance myself from that. Did you watch any of the Olympics last night?
I watched a bit of judo.
Hi.
Bit of judo.
Did you watch the Gold Channel? Is that with Laz and then they went to the judo? Yeah.
And
a little bit tedious.
Yeah, a little bit tedious. It's kind of like UFC, but just a bit shit.
It's like slap fighting.
Yeah, and it's you could tell that those guys are weapons underneath their dressing gowns.
Yeah,
and
pajamas.
And their next move is UFC once they learn how to strike.
Yeah.
Because all it is, it's grappling.
Yeah. Well, judo's just you've got to throw the other guy to the floor.
Yeah.
Is all it is.
And they got mass cauliflower ears. I wouldn't mess with them. I watched the under 81 kg and I was like, that dude from Belarus is not under 81 kgs. But he may have been at the start of the tournament. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, start of the tournament.
Yeah.
He would have been desperately dehydrated and then swole back up to about 100 kilos.
That was about as much as I watched, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was gutted because I'm parenting alone at the moment, and I was gutted because I'd lined up the 6 p.m. triathlon as babysitting. And I was like, and I got them all excited. I said, have dinner, jammies, teas, pudding, whatever. Oh, no, I said, I'll give you pudding on the couch. Hayden Wild, it's going to be on. Then the alert comes through, not on. I was like, you literally poos.
Poos in the river.
Yeah, and they were like, why is it not on? I was like, poos in the river.
So it's been delayed 24 hours, so it's still scheduled to be going tonight, but there's still going to be poos in the river tonight.
Just do it. Have you seen that Aussie guy? He goes, mate, I don't care what's in that river.
Yeah.
I don't care, mate, if there's poos, whatever, I'm going to win the gold.
Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you'll get crook. But
After.
Yeah.
I want someone on stage, gold medal, shit in their pants, vomiting, but still stoked.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're going to be in the hospital, you might as well have a gold medal around your neck. So Hayden Wild potentially got a chance to do that tonight. I watched the basketball, so the Spanish played the Greeks last night, and I just loved watching because some of these European teams, they've got dudes you've never heard of. There was this guy Yule last night, Spanish gentleman, 36 years old, and he was torching the Greeks. And he just looks like a plumber, you know? Like, I'm so used to watching the NBA where everyone's getting paid billions of dollars.
And they're wearing gold jewelry,
flash haircuts. They look incredible. They got the cool shoes on. And this guy just comes out looking like just a tradie.
Have you seen some of that European League footage of those crowds, though?
Oh, they're insane.
That's like puts the NBA to massive shame. There's like
flares going.
Yeah, there's like football. They're bouncing up and down.
Courts shaking.
Yeah, and they're like just brutal.
I know, and that's why. So then the Americans try and shit talk dudes like Jokic and who's our man Doncic.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Have you seen what we were playing in before we came here? This is fucking nothing."
Yeah, so I've got some Hollywood celeb throwing barbs at me on courtside
at the Smoothie King Centre.
Yeah,
that's not going to scare me.
That's okay. I've dealt with worse.
Yeah, but I just thought that my key takeaway from that game was obviously in Spain and Greece they'll have a full commentary team commentating those games, but we get the Australian feed, and it's Spain versus Greece, so there's no team in it. So it's just one guy commentating by himself from start to finish.
Brutal.
Replays. He had to do the halftime show. He had to do fill in when they call a timeout, and he was just struggling to keep his head above water.
Oh, I heard one commentator who obviously had notes that one of the athletes came from a broken up family and was brought up by his grandparents, and it's like he just threw it in the middle of the commentary, and I was like, it's obviously got notes on all the ways, and it's like, fun fact, brought up by his grandparents, abandoned by his parents.
He just Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, it was like in the swimming, I think.
Yeah, the John Anik from the UFC was a shocker for that for a while. There's a clip of him being like, both fighters, like such and such in the blue trunks, such and such in the white trunks, both fighters fighting custody battles outside of the ring. Like, I don't know if we needed that.
Did you see the Brazilian pair who'd finished their sports and they decided having a night out in Paris? They snuck out of the village.
Oh.
And one of them's been sent home, the female of the partner, because she got a bit feisty during the questioning and abusive.
Right.
So they binned her, and the boyfriends apologised, and he got to stay with a sous chef. So he gets to stay on for the closing.
Oh.
But they've done their sport, though. I don't get it. It's like, some teams have got protocols where even if you finished, you can't go out in the wads like we were talking about.
Yeah, I guess it's just keep your head down.
Yes.
Like, if you want to go out there, that's fine. I don't want to hear about you in the newspapers.
Yeah.
Because I think if we go to, when we go to Germany,
yes,
I think if I went out, say we had organised events and I was like, hey, I'm just going to go to this other place, I think you would tell me, fine, I just don't want to hear that you've done any.
I don't want to hear of body being pulled out of the river.
Yeah, that's right. Or you're getting sent home. So I reckon that's what it would have been. It's like, yeah, all right, but just don't. And then she flouted the rules. Anyway, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through all of the latest news from overnight at the Olympics, including our first medal. All right, I'm sure that tease didn't hold too many of you hostage, because you know what it is. The Blackfern Sevens, they won this morning.
Yep.
They beat Canada. I this morning sat down and watched all 20 minutes of a replay of what I thought was the gold medal game. Turns out it was the last time they played in Madrid about a year ago. Beauty. But I think, I don't want to say it was a foregone conclusion that we were going to win this one, but I think we expect the Sevens to win, don't we?
Yeah, especially when Australia got knocked out by Canada.
Yeah.
And then the Canadians made the final. I think most New Zealand was like, oh yeah, that's ours.
I think we're on here. And in the end we did. A stirring haka that's doing the rounds on social media, despite the fact that you're not allowed to repost anything anywhere.
Oh no, don't do it. Do you know what will happen?
What?
People come through the windows and slit your throat. If you share any content that is not permitted, you're dead, okay?
Yeah.
You're deader than this hawk.
Rest in power, the hawk.
Rest in power.
It's the social media blackout is outrageous. But yeah, our girls finally, well not finally, but we finally get on the board with a gold medal.
Absolutely. They were down at half time.
Yeah.
It was a bit squeaky bum, if I'm fair, at half time. I was like, ooh, these Canadians can play, but then they shut it out. They just absolutely dominated in the second half and closed it out. Good on them.
Yeah, God bless them.
And they're good fun.
Yeah.
They're a good fun team for media to talk to. They're actually, it's quite a refreshing approach for a bunch of, they're obviously all very good mates as well.
Yeah.
They get on like a house on fire, which helps. So that energy comes across when they talk to the media.
You're right. The dudes can just get so like intense. You're like, hey man, just relax. You're playing a sport for a job.
Yeah.
You know, you won.
And they're just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, this is mean.
Yeah.
We just won an Olympic gold.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having the medal would just be so sick.
Yeah.
Where would you put it? You'd want it on display, wouldn't you?
I think they're still wearing them. Surely. Surely you wear it to bed. You go full Richard Hadley. You don't take your kit off.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I ran a half marathon and I still wear the medal every now and then.
Joe Jury's still got his on from when he was hospitalised in Queenstown.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Getting pretty manky. But the Blackfern Sevens, as we mentioned before, Hayden Wild's been postponed due to poos. Our rowers won just about everything last night. This was the thing I enjoyed the most watching last night was Emma Twigg and her, is it the single sculls? Got two. She obliterated the field so much that two of the people she was racing against quit.
Yep.
One of them, it was Emma Twigg and then Daylight, then another girl in second, then another one in third. When the one in third got overtaken, she let go of the oars.
She was weak.
Emma Twigg obliterated the field so hard that two women reevaluated their career choices. Because when that one turned around, I think she thought she was second, and when she got overtaken, she turned around and she was just like,
oh.
Is that someone training down? Oh, fuck, no, that's Emma. She's in our same... Oh, I don't know about this rowing thing, to be honest. This has never really been for me.
I had a couple... first of all, there was a 10-year gap between Emma Twigg and the girl who came second from Switzerland, I think.
Yeah.
But I got another issue with the commentator. I'm not sure if he was either good mates with Emma Twigg or he got the last name wrong because he kept calling her Twiggy.
Twiggy. Yeah, I think he was trying to be a bit too chummy.
Was he? Or was he getting her confused with a singer, Twiggy?
Perhaps.
Because every second word was Twiggy.
Oh,
and I was sitting there going, I mean, we call it Twiggy, but I mean, we're a sports adjacent podcast. And you're an Olympic commentator throwing out Twiggy?
Yeah. I'd like at least a thin veil of objectivity.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm objective. I don't have a horse in this race, but yeah, he's like Twiggy. And I was like, do they call her Twiggy? Because once she gets on them twigs, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. You can't. I was so fired up last night watching her win that. I was strutting around the lounge. I was like, they shouldn't have let her off the bus. They shouldn't have let her off the bus. That race was over before she got in that fucking boat. They should not have let her off the bus.
So she's got to... I always forget how many races they have to do before reaching the final.
Oh.
Every night, my kids go, is this the final? And I go, no. And they're like,
She won by so much, she should have an empty lane. She should have a ghost lane in her next, I think it's the semi-final now that she's into.
Yeah, so you've got to do like 4 races to make the final.
She won by so much, they should just leave her lane free and she'd just be like, look, she's into the next one.
Go to the final.
It's fine. And then if anyone could play, it's like, what, do you actually want to race her? Do you want to see how bad this goes for you? Because she's going to obliterate you. But yeah, so then she's got another one tonight. Our boy T-Mac as well. He got through. Tom McIntosh. He's into the semi-finals, which I presume are tonight as well. Emma Twigg won gold in Tokyo 3 years ago.
Actually, no. When I say her age is 37, she's going to be the oldest medalist.
She will be the oldest medalist in rowing, yeah.
Because I know I got that wrong. The girl next to her from Switzerland, she was 20, so 17 years.
Yeah. There was another race after our man T-Mac, and there was a bloke from like Mexico or Morocco or something, and he was just like, fuck it, I'm going hell for leather straight out of the gates. And he got himself like a 2-boat lead, and this was a 2-kilometer race. By the 500-meter mark, he was already back down to third. But that's what I'd do. Yeah, same here.
That's what I'd do.
Same here. I'd fire a shot.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, I want a photo of me 2 boat lengths ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, I put it on the wall.
I'm not going to win anyway, or I might. Like, you never know. You might just get out in front and then keep going. The men's and women's double scullers have also qualified for their final. So, we were saying there was a bit of a drought early doors in this Olympics. This is where we really get into our work.
Yeah, when our ass is on something hard, we do well.
That's right. That's the best that we do. So there's going to be a whole raft, a flotilla of medals coming through very soon, I think. The Ollie Whites, they lost to France as well, so they won't make the knockout round. Unfortunately, Simone Biles set the office on fire this morning with the replays of her performance that led her team to gold in Paris. I saw a stat that she hasn't lost a competition in 10 years, which is a little misleading.
Yeah.
Because you initially think, oh, she's won everything? No. She's come she got silver in Tokyo, you know. She's come 3rd, 4th, 6th. She's just never come last.
Yes.
I was like, eh.
And she also pulled out in Tokyo.
Yeah, so it's like, yes, sure, she hasn't lost, but it's like she also hasn't won every single thing that she was in. But she is incredible to watch. Do you think if you had one shot at it, you could climb onto one end of that bar and walk to the other end and then dismount without falling off? If you slip off at all, even while you're trying to climb on, you're out. Do you think you could do it in one go?
No.
No, neither could I.
I'm happy to give it a go, though.
I tried it this morning. There's a bar at the gym I go to, and I go a lot. And I tried to climb up on top of it, and I just couldn't even,
start.
I didn't even know what leg to, put up onto what side.
Could you not just straddle it with your cock and balls and then just shuffle along like that? Kind of.
Oh, like a dog with worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that count, or do you have to walk it?
No, I think you have to walk it.
Okay.
Soles of your feet on there.
Actually, no, I could do it. Once I get up,
Getting up is the part.
Once I get up, I'll wind the windows up a few times and like that.
Yeah.
But I reckon I could do it. And the dismount would be magnificent.
Splendid. Just some of the stuff she does. The one where she spins around. I don't know if you've seen the slow-mo of that. She's like on one foot with one leg out, and she spins like Tony Hawk. She does a 900 on it. It's like, I don't know how you could. She spent her whole life on those bloody things.
Speaking of Tony Hawk, have you seen those 9-year-old kids in the skate park?
I have, yes.
Oh, my God.
They're good. I was saying this yesterday in the office. This could be a hot take for a Wednesday morning. I think that if your best athletes at a sport are teenagers, it means the sport isn't very strong. Because I think that the only reason, because skateboarding's not very popular at the moment, like back in the 90s, peak Tony Hawk days, it was big. But now, if you want to be a professional skater, it's pretty tough. I don't think, you know. So I think if it keeps going this way, the medalists at the next Olympics will be in their 20s. You can't tell me that an 11-year-old's better than a 21-year-old at skateboarding.
Oh, they are, though.
I know, but only because people give it up at a certain point. You know, if you're 21, your parents are going to be like, hey, so this skateboarding thing, when are you going to jack that in and get a trade?
Well, this might help. The Olympics might help it then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's what you're thinking. But I think it's also the fact that they have very little fear. And they're like Gumby rubber things who just like bend themselves over a pole and just get up and keep on skating.
Yeah, that is a big part of it.
Yeah, whereas an older, when I say older, anyone over 25, there's Achilles issues. There's all sorts of issues.
When we'd go on like a skiing trip at primary school, all I would do is just sit and watch the adults get off the bus, because kids, when they jump off, they'd hit the ice and just slide underneath the bus and then just pop back up and keep going. But the adults would just like, boof, and then they'd like concussed and shoulders done and all sorts. So I will give them that at a certain age. It does become a bit of a thing. The other thing I've noticed, and this comes from last year being the voice of snow sports in New Zealand, to now watching the skateboarders. If you want to win a gold or win any competition in skiing, snowboarding, skateboarding, I'll throw surfing in there, you got to have a cool name.
Yeah.
You just have to have a cool name. And I don't have them in front of me, but the field for the skateboarding yesterday, some of the coolest names you'll ever see. The Jossie Wells Invitational.
Yeah, and also some of the coolest people as well. I just love the fact that the skaters just wear their AirPods.
Yeah.
And just
baggy T-shirt.
Baggy T-shirt, and wear this in the AirPods, just like another day at the skate park.
It would drive boomers insane.
does drive boomers insane.
This is not a sport.
Wait till they watch the breakdancing.
Speaking of surfing, Australian surfer Jack Robinson was rescued. He almost drowned over there in Tahiti, which you wouldn't presume that would happen for a professional surfer. So there was a storm coming through, and he got held underwater for 2 waves, and he couldn't find his time. That is a long time, and he said it was extra hard because he's in an Olympic qualifier, so his heart rate is already through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
And then he gets held under, and he's like, anyway, they rescued him, brought him back in, he went back out, and he won.
Cool. Fuck, how Australian's that?
I think he beat John Florence. I don't know if he beat him in that heat or the one before.
Speaking of cool names.
Yeah, exactly. John Florence. JJ
Flow.
Yeah. There's what's his name, Gabriel Medina.
Oh,
is he
the photo. Have you seen the photo of Gabriel Medina?
No.
There's a sick photo. So basically he goes over the back of the wave, and you know how sometimes they come off their board and go airborne?
Yeah.
It's basically him upright, pointing at the sky, and he's in the air, and his board has come out behind him and is just next to him. So he looks like Jesus because he's suspended in the air with his finger on the cloud and his board just next to him. It's the most insane photo.
Yeah.
It's the photo of the Olympics so far. I can't see anyone beating it.
Yeah, that is sick. And another great name. Anyway, Jack Robinson, he's going to be in the final, I believe, against another Australian. So it's an all-Aussie final there. And the surfing. And just finally on the Olympics, Coco Gauff, she lost her singles match overnight. She had they were calling it a meltdown. I don't think it was a meltdown. I also think it was fear. So what happened was someone, her opponent, who I think was the girl who knocked Lulu Sun out of Wimbledon, hit the ball to her. It was very close to the baseline.
Yeah.
Line umpire said, that's out. She yelled out. The match umpire overruled it. But Coco Gauff was like, what the fuck? So she didn't.
I would have hit it.
She didn't. Yeah. So she didn't hit it. And then they said that she lost the point. And she was just like, what? You told me it was out, so I didn't hit it. It was too late. I hadn't offered a shot. I think you kind of just got to throw the shot, don't you?
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her for blowing it. She just was just like, this is bullshit. It was quite a tame blow up. I would have flown off the fucking handle.
I saw a pretty lame headline saying flag bearer blows up. Obviously looking for a click from any country whose flag bearer might have blown up.
Yeah.
And then I see, it's a tennis player. Who cares?
Yeah.
They blow up all the time.
Exactly. So that is your wrap of the Olympics for this week. Don't expect to see that on social media because they will come for us if we post anything.
Slit your throat in the night.
Absolutely, they will. Just before we go to an ad break, it is a Wednesday, and even though the Olympics are going on, we still need to hit you with another half-baked sports idea.
Half-baked sports idea.
I had one that I wrote yesterday, and I've thrown it into the trash bin this morning because my initial half-baked sports idea was red zone for the Olympics. Red zone in the NFL? So there's multiple games going on at the same time, but you just chuck on red zone, and whoever's within scoring distance, that's the game that they put on your screen.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's really good for watching multiple games at the same time. So then they'll zoom out and they'll be like, now we go to the Carolina Panthers.
So it's you're just watching when people are actually going to score.
Yes, yeah, 100%. And I was just like, that is exactly how the Olympic coverage should be. We should just be like, right, someone's about to win here, someone's about to win here. That would keep you engaged. Then I watched that Gold channel that they've got on Sky Open. Laz was hosting it last night. That's basically that.
Yeah, it is.
It's just all of the New Zealanders.
But also, with that, the reason I think you, and I agree with you, the reason why you thought we needed it was because we've not in any gold medal.
Yeah, that's right.
So for 3 or 4 days, they've just been padding with Uzbekistan, judo, and Australians winning gold in the fucking swimming pool again.
Yeah.
And so, but I think from now on that Gold channel, that's the idea. So anytime New Zealand are going for gold,
they've already thought of it.
Yeah.
It's not a half-baked sports idea. It's a fully baked idea. The Sky have already had it and they're doing it. So I've got another one. This one came courtesy of Joe Jury with a flaming hot take.
Yeah.
Basketball, soccer, and hockey should all be played at the Winter Olympics. They are winter sports. Why are we playing them at the Summer Olympics? You don't play basketball in summer. You don't play hockey in summer. You do not play soccer in summer.
Rugby?
I would almost throw the sevens in there, but I feel like you do play sevens in summer.
Yeah, they play it all year, don't they?
Yeah, but rugby you certainly don't play in summer. At the Commonwealth Games, do they have a winter Commonwealth Games? No.
They hardly have a Commonwealth Games now.
I suppose that's why they play the netball at those ones. Basketball, hockey, soccer should all be played at the Winter Olympics. That's my half-baked sports.
I'd argue also that ice hockey should be at the Summer Olympics. It's just indoors, so should ice skating.
I feel like they are definitely winter sports.
No, but everyone does them all year.
Yeah, but I mean...
Can you go ice skating in the middle of summer?
Not on an actual lake.
No, but
which is where it came from.
Indoor arena you can. I'm all for let's just roll them all into one.
Oh yeah, no, I've talked about Fight Island before, where they just do everything at the exact same spot.
Yeah.
It'll probably be in Qatar.
Freeze an island in Qatar for the snow sports. Or make it all indoors.
I think snow and ice generally winter. But I just think sport. Why do we play these sports in winter until it's time to go to the Olympics? Now all of a sudden they're at the Summer Olympics. Makes no sense to me. I've lost a little bit of respect for the games now that I've thought of that. And I think that people will be listening to this and will think of other sports that we haven't mentioned that you actually do in winter, like is judo a winter sport? I think the IOC should be ashamed of themselves.
It's money grabbing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all well and good to take the flags off the Russian athletes, but until we sort the real issues, these games aren't going to mean anything.
I love how they're not. The Russian athletes, they're still there.
Yeah, they're just under AIN, Athletes International Neutral. So they are from nowhere. It's them and the Belarusians.
Oh, the Belarusians, have they been binned too?
They have. Not to be confused with the refugee team, which is another thing.
Oh.
So these are people who have left their country but aren't allowed passports for wherever they're living right now.
So they're representing their country but living outside of it?
No, they're representing themselves. So they don't want to represent their country.
So what about the country they're living in right now?
Well, they don't have citizenship in those countries. So that's why they're the refugee team, which is quite weird because it's like you go back to your village and you're like, none of you are from the same place. Most of you don't even speak the same language. Half of them are living in England. And
also, they ain't going home.
And they ain't going home, so who's going to celebrate with them? But that's my half-baked sports idea. Basketball, soccer, hockey should be at the Winter Olympics. Snackchangy Sports Scholarship, by the way, Lane.
Yep.
We've got a few more opportunities for you to win this scholarship. If you want to win that, chip to 3236. And as someone who has spent the last few days watching sporting highlights while eating Snackchangy chips at my desk.
Oh, yeah.
Goes good. Goes real good. So text chip to 3236. When we come back from this ad break, yours please.
Yours please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
4 of them to get through so far today, Lane.
Excellent.
Let's get into it. First caller, yours please.
Just thinking, Daniel Loader, fucking awesome Kiwi, versus Daniel Vittori. How good. Could give one of them a run.
Is that Colin de Gronholm?
Did sound like him. Daniel Loader, this is for the greatest New Zealander of all time, which the bracket is being cooked up right now. We're tallying all the votes from social media. There's some
matchups.
There's some pretty full-on matchups in round one. I don't want to spoil it, but I think should we launch this on a Friday to give it a good weekend to soak? The greatest New Zealander of all time. I like Daniel Loader. I think that has to be in there.
Yeah, but you can't have... The only reason he's picked Daniel Vittori is got the same first names.
Yeah, Dan versus Dan.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mind that. There is an element of word association going on with these.
And also, do you know what? You couldn't get more polar opposites because Daniel Vittori cannot swim.
Can Daniel Loader bowl spin?
I'd guarantee not. Guarantee not. So... I made interesting matchup that one maybe, but yeah, thanks Colin for that.
Another caller here, yours please.
Cutting it close for you fellas starting this countdown. Brackets, whatnot.
Just come up on the mic a little bit there, mate.
C's to David Tua qualify, Joey Parker, Jonah Lockwood, Joe Rocococo,
Jeez.
Yeah, you know what I'm on about?
Yeah, I pick out what you're putting down. It's just...
The initial question was, what are the T's and C's for the greatest New Zealander? And I actually don't think there are any.
Is there a coincidence? Because I just saw an advertisement for New Zealander of the Year. They're taking votes right now.
Oh, are they?
For New Zealander of the Year, but you got to be alive. And also, you've got to virtue signal massively to win New Zealander of the Year.
Oh, right.
You know the one.
So individual accomplishment isn't enough anymore. Yeah. There has to be an element of charity attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they, it's the one where they put the big korowai on them. And
right.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get a korowai for our greatest New Zealander of all time. We're really stealing their thunder here. No T's and C's, I don't think.
No.
The last couple of days I've been saying they have to be an actual New Zealander. I'm even going to remove that.
Yeah. No, it can be an icon.
Yeah.
It could be the Owakuni carrot.
That's right.
Yeah.
If it means something to us as New Zealanders, and, off the back of this, we are going to petition for it to replace the Queen on the $20 note.
Yes.
So, which ironically, on the back side of the $20 note, do you know what's on there? Hawk. Do they
got a permit?
Have they got a permit for that? Another caller here. Yours, please.
Captain Ask Grab here. I'm proposing we scrap Golden Point in the NRL. I hate heartbreaking losses for the Wars. Let's bring in Golden Gloves, where if it's a draw at full time, each coach comes down and they go hell for leather until the other person knocks the other one out. Obviously, this wouldn't work back-to-back, week-to-week if there were 2 Golden Points. So then it will fall down to his assistant coach if he's had a scrap the week before, and then go down to the trainers and physios if there's multiple Golden Points. Bring back the biff.
I don't mind this, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to end up electing a figurehead as your coach. So Paul Gallen will all of a sudden be the Cronulla Sharks coach.
Gordon Tallis and Sonny Bill will suddenly appear.
Yeah, Joseph Parker may be coaching your one New Zealand Warriors with an assistant coaching rank of, Andrew Webster and Stacey Jones and that. But I just think it changes. Because God bless Webby, I think that there are a lot of coaches that would dust Webby if it came down to Golden Glove.
Yeah.
Ricky Stewart sort of pops to mind.
Yeah. It's quite a psychotic individual.
Runs purely on aggression. I think it's a great idea because I've for the longest time said the reason the UFC is blowing up is because if you're at a rugby game and a fight breaks out on the sideline, what are you going to watch? You're going to watch the fight. People find them exciting. People want to bring the biff back into rugby league. Here's an opportunity to do that. Settle it once and for all. I love it. Golden Gloves instead of Golden Point. It's brilliant. Another caller, I think this is our last caller here for today. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. Hey, with the Black Caps announcing their season games and whatnot, I've been made aware that sledging is dying in the game of cricket, which I'm not fucking happy about. So I think it's more to do with that there's a microphone on every inch of that pitch now, so everything is heard. So let's put our heads together and come up for a few more PC sledges that are still going to cut deep but fly under the radar. What's your thoughts? Who wrote?
You must have heard some great sledging in your time.
Yeah, and I think you still do hear some great sledges. I think it's more psychological now. Can you remember whenever any debutant from New Zealand goes and plays in Australia, they just get bombarded by the slip cord and going, it's okay, mate, everyone gets out for a duck in their first game, mate. It's okay, bro, you can, no one gets over 5 in their first test, especially over here, mate. So no one's going to judge you. So there's that kind of sledging. It's not about fucking your mother and eating biscuits, all that kind of quite harsh Merv Hughes kind of. Now it's way more, it is the mental disintegration where they're almost being nice to you but saying you're shit.
Yeah.
They used to call Grant Elliott, an Aussie, his nickname was Clubby because he wouldn't even make a club team in Australia. So they would make up nicknames for players and then explain what the nickname is to them. So it's not sledging as in like club sledging where you're just calling people names.
Yeah.
And now it's getting quite deep into people's technique.
Yeah.
And what to watch out for. So, Mitchell Starc will be bowling and they'll be like, hey, watch it, bro. He's going to swing the first 2 in and the second one, he's going to try and seam it away and catch the edge. And obviously you're batting, if you're a new batter, you're like, I know he's fucking with me. And then two swing out. Well, mate, fuck, he was right.
Yeah. So then the next time it's like, it would just complete. The worst I ever heard, and it wasn't one of those ones where they just call you a name or ask you what Brian Lara's dick tastes like or anything like that. It was it Jeet Raval and Mitchell Starc bowling at him, and he said, if I bowl you out here, you'll never play for the Black Caps again.
Yeah.
If I get you out, this is your last game for the Black Caps.
And it was.
And I just, honestly, I saw fear flash across his face. I was just like, fucking hell.
Well, Jeet Raval's not a player that exudes confidence either. He's a very laid back dude.
He's a brick wall of a man, It's just.
So it's that kind of stuff that, and even that, I think they're not even picking up on the stump mics because to go behind the curtains, they ride that stump mic level hard. So you don't hear everything. You only hear probably a fraction of what actually goes on the field.
Yeah.
That's why there's calls for just turn it up and leave it up because it's changed anyway. They're not abusing each other, but they are getting into each other.
Yeah.
And I think people love that. And if you had a channel I don't want to do us out of a job because we're commentating the summer of cricket. I'd much rather listen to the stump mic than the commentators.
Or why not just leave the stump mic up on our commentary?
And then we can walk away.
Yeah, arguably less of us talking, which a lot of people are in favour of.
Unfortunately, those levels are ridden by New Zealand cricket. Not by the broadcaster.
And they're protecting.
Yeah, they're protecting the players. But I agree, sledging was always great, and there's always everyone's got stories of the greatest sledge. But like I said, I think it's changed slightly into that more friendly disintegration rather than straight out Murph Hughes screaming and yelling.
Yeah, 100%. Great batch of voicemails there. Keep them coming through for tomorrow. We'll knock this one on the head, but we will be back tomorrow for another Throwback Thursday on the Agenda podcast. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.